When I came to Sweden, the first thing that I ever did was to register into a housing queue. I didn't know about that, but somebody helped me, and I will forever be grateful to that person because she really helped me. And I didn't have information. I didn't know about any housing queue. Like, you are new in Sweden, you don't even know what is housing queue. You don't even know what is first hand contract and what is second hand contract, because where I come from, you have your money, you get your house. It's very easy. There are apartments everywhere. Hoping you are doing well. If you are new here, welcome to my channel, and please don't forget to subscribe. For my old subscribers, I'm very grateful. Welcome once again, and I'm always happy to have you around. So today I'm gonna be talking about a very interesting topic. I'm gonna be talking about how I acquired my first-hand rental apartment in Sweden. Okay, some of you would ask themselves, why is this topic so important? Like, they would think like it could, like, is it not easy to get an apartment in Sweden? No, it's not. To get a first-hand rental apartment in Sweden is very hard. Not like it's not possible, it's possible, but it's hard. And it's not about you having the money, but it's you following the protocol and following the rules that are set thereby. So guys, for you to get a rental, like a first-hand rental apartment, there are some things that I want to take you through, and I will try as much as I can not to make this video long. There's so much one can talk about when it comes to rental apartment, but I'll try as much to keep it short. So what do you need? First of all, what are the requirements? The requirements are, you need a personal number or a coordination number. A coordination number is known as samordningsnummer in Sweden. So with those two numbers, you can register into housing queues. There are so many landlords in Sweden where you can register with them and start clicking and start searching for apartment. So the requirement, basically, when you want to register, they would ask you for your name and your address, because you must have an address or where your letters come to, and your income, how much you are earning, because if you are not earning so much, and then there are some apartments you can't get. So you need to have income, your name, your address, how much you're earning, how many people will be living in the apartment, is it only you? If you have a partner, both of you can be in the same queue, and if you have a child, then you have to state it there that you have a child. So once you register, then you start clicking and get your apartment. So when you register, you start earning some points, and the more your points are, the closer you get to your apartment. So mostly, if you're looking for an apartment in Stockholm Central, it's very difficult. So, and you can be on the queue for more than 10 years. So the best thing for you to do is to look for an apartment outside of the out of the majors, not only Stockholm, like major cities like Gothenburg, Malmo. Like, try to look in the suburbs, because in the centrum it's very congested. There's so much competition, like demand is higher than the supply. So the best thing to do is for you to look outside the centrum, like outside like the city center. Once you register and you have given them your information, then you need to be specific about the location. There are so many locations, there are so many suburbs, so you need to specify which one of them. And if you are confused, you can always look for information of where is the best place, and always look for where the local traffic transport. Though the local transport in Sweden is well organized, like the buses are there, the trains are there, so it's much easier. Although some places, maybe there are houses that are a little bit far from the bus station, and there are some houses that are very far from the train station, so you can try and look for all those things. And then when you're getting the apartment, try also to look at if they have a shopping center, though most of the apartments have, but some maybe is a small, a small center, but some have bigger shopping center. So you can also try and look for that information. Is very important. And also look, if you're having kids, if they have a school close by, is it close to the school or is it far from the school? So those are the things that you really need to also look into, like a shopping center, the school, maybe the hospital, but the hospital is normally, that one is not like a big problem. But I think shopping center and the school for your kids, and the local transport, like how does it work and how is it efficient for you. So that's what you need to consider when you are clicking. And then you need to be specific about the size of the apartment. How large is the apartment? Like, do you want 2 bedrooms, do you want 3 bedrooms, or do you want an apartment with 3 bedrooms? So just check for the size, and the bigger the size, of course, the more the money. So of course there are some apartments that are smaller and expensive, so it also depends on the location. So like location is very important. So another thing you need to check when you are clicking for the apartment is, does it have an elevator or is it the staircase? If you have kids, I would recommend that you get an apartment where you have an elevator, because if you're having a baby trolley, it's going to be hard for you to be carrying the baby from the first floor to the fifth floor. Like, it could be very stressful. But if you have an elevator, then it will be easy. So always check what you need. But if you are a young person that want to do some gymnastic, then you can choose to go for those one without an elevator. Or if you're in a hurry and you can't wait, I mean, there are so many reasons why you could choose a house without an elevator. Then you can always check if the house has a washing machine. Some people want to use, there's always like washing machine in all the apartments, like for everybody, but some are inside the house, so you can check if there's a washing machine. Then you can also check about the recycling station where they throw their garbage. Is it close to the house or is it far? Like, you can check about that. Then you can check about the toilet. Some apartments have 2 toilets, some have 1 toilet, so you can also check. If you are so specific about that, then you can check about that. So another thing is that those first-hand contract apartment, they are always permanent unless you breach the contract. But since it's very hard to acquire the apartment, people are very careful, and rarely you lose an apartment. If you don't pay, it could be a problem, or if you do something that is illegal, then you could lose your apartment. So you don't need to breach the contract. So once you get the apartment, you have to be very careful. So like I said, the first-hand rental apartment are always permanent. You can live there as long as you want. You can live there for how many years. The contract can be breached maybe if there is an accident, maybe there is a fire outbreak and you have to vacate from there. Then you will find another, they will give you another apartment, or maybe they need to do some renovation. But normally before they renovate the apartment, they always give you a notice with a very good time. It's not something it's not like they will tell you within 2 weeks that we need to renovate. No, the notice is quite long, and they will give you the notice in time, and then within that time you can check for another apartment. So what you do, once you get an apartment, you have to go back to the housing queue again and be on the queue, because just because you got an apartment today, it doesn't mean that you don't need another one tomorrow, because you can also change. Maybe for example, when you are looking for an apartment, you got one bedroom, maybe you were young and by then you needed one bedroom, and now you have a family and you need two bedrooms. So when you're in the queue again, you can change to a bigger apartment, and you can swipe. There's also swapping of apartment. Maybe somebody that has a two-bedroom want to swap with somebody with one bedroom, so, or vice versa. So that's how it works. So you register and you start clicking, and yeah, that is how it works. So if you're not looking for a first-hand rental contract, you can always go for the second-hand rental contract, and they are a little bit expensive. Like the owner of the apartment might decide to give you higher price than what he or she is actually paying. And for those second-hand contracts, they are good because they help you while you're waiting for your first-hand contract, and they are much easier because you don't have to be on the queue. Normally they are published there every day, so you have to be on the lookout because people are there waiting. So once you get it and you're lucky enough, don't waste time. So one tips I want to tell you about those second-hand contract, based on based on the site you are getting them from. Like this site, there is blocked.sc, there is Facebook, there is andrahand.sc, and there is booster direct. Based on where you get your apartment from, maybe you need to be a little bit careful, because people have been scammed, and they went to pay money before they have entered the apartment. So before you pay anybody any money, you need to move into the apartment, you need to get the keys, and then you are sure like, okay, this is a real apartment. So because there are so many ghost apartments and people have been scammed, so you check, and then you have to check the contract very well, like what is included. Is it electricity included, insurance, the water, the Wi-Fi, all those things. You need to check what is included in the contract so that you don't have the misunderstanding with the owner of the apartment. So always check the contract before you sign, and don't pay before you move into the apartment.